was grumbling. Now, yeah, to say that food is something everybody definitely needs, you understand? Because, when NGOs are thinking about coming up, how do I come in? How do I affect the society? What can I do? You have food, you have shelter, you have clothes, you have water. There are a whole lot of things. And then Nigeria, as we are right now, we are short of not even having enough to feed ourselves, let alone enough to export and make money. Now, when I see young guys like you, I begin to wonder, apart from the inspiration that you've talked about going into this, how can you sustain this? Yeah, as a family man, I know what it takes to feed my kids at home. You understand? So now you're talking about feeding 1,000 meals. You understand? How do you go about achieving this? And with the sustainability and the regularity at which you achieve that.
All right. So two things. Yeah. First, a personal story to also cue in from where you stopped. One of us who is on air today had a sibling who was in the hospital for a while, who she had to look after. And, having to be in that environment, because that's what inspired the places. We're not just giving meals randomly. We're doing it in the hospitals and we're doing it on the streets. Those are two niche areas where it's easy to just come to a point where it's as though it's over. Regardless of the fact that people surround you, there are medical practitioners here and there, you just come to that point of personal despair, and that's why we have that niche area for that. Then talking about
the niche area, I was thinking the niche area would be to the less privileged. We have destitute homes, we have motherless baby homes and the rest of it. Or isn't that part of your catchment area? Even beggars are there on the street begging for alms. Wouldn't those be considered as people that you need to actually help give such things? Or beggars are already earning money, they are in business? I really don't know. Maybe you need to put us through, I don't know.
Okay, so we were at the motherless babies home on the 1st of November this year. That's a few weeks back, to also support to be there. So it's not that we haven't considered it. But this movement is, there's a specific reason behind this, is to pass the message your dreams are valid. Okay, and one of the easiest places to lose that is in places where it's as though you are in the hospital but you're helpless. Okay, you are there, but there's nothing you can do about your situation right now. It's as though your life is in the hands of God, yes, but the medical practitioners. And if you're looking after a loved one, it's as though life is on hold until that person recovers. So that's why we selected the hospital. And then there's the one for the streets too, where you have people who are homeless. You talk about SDGs now. You talk about people who are homeless, who don't have a roof over their head. And who just come out. Yeah, I know some of them are in business. But then there are some of them who really, because of life circumstances, have been reduced right now to that. And so for such a person, we are not just putting meals in people's hands. I think that's what we'd really love everyone to understand about what we're doing. 1,000 meals of hope, talking about sustainability now, is not putting food in someone's hand, because someone would ask, if we put food in your hand today, what about tomorrow? Yeah. It's about telling someone this is not the end. Like putting the message of hope behind that thing. The whole movement is just basically hope. Letting someone know, right now, this is a plate of food. Tomorrow, you can trust for another one to come. It may not come from us. Right now, this is what, you didn't prepare for this. You didn't expect it. It just came. And that's the way life is sometimes. So right now, whatever circumstance you're facing is not a close.
All right, let me ask. While we were talking, I remember vividly that there are some people that will not accept cooked food from people. I don't know, when you first started this, did you have such experience? And if yes, how did you got over it, or how did you begin to encourage people to accept meals that you are sharing?
Okay, all right. At first, when we started, like for the motherless babies homes, you don't bring them cooked food, based on the fact that most of these children might be going through some certain sicknesses, so the conditions. And if at all you have to cook it in their midst. Their personnel should at least oversee the whole cooking and everything. And there have also been times when we went to the streets and then you see beggars who are actually begging but still refusing food. That doesn't give us the will I say, the stamina or whatever it is to now say, okay, because of this, we are now giving up on what we are doing. For some set of persons, they have their own religion, they have their own beliefs, but that doesn't negate what we are going out for. If at some point we meet these such people, we tend to have discussions with them, understand why, and if it's something we have to also consider when going out the next time, it gives us more idea of how we should go about this. So sometimes when people don't collect our food, we don't get angry.
Part of why I asked this question was that growing up, I've had my father will always shout at you. That when they give you food that somebody is supposed to, you don't give it to another person, so that kind of a thing. And all of a sudden, somebody you don't know, package food, and I've seen people do it. Some people dedicate their birthdays to go out and feed people on the streets, But we have to maneuver some of these beliefs, some of these thoughts that I don't have to accept a meal from a stranger. Becomes a very big question to ask.
So we've done two things.
Okay.
We've done two things in regards to this. First, we partnered with a catering company, taking care of all the meals. So it's not a situation where you have random people coming together to prepare meals to give to people. No. We've tried to make sure that process is standardized. Even to the part of why we did that was also to make sure that we could subsidize the cost for a meal. So we could know, instead of the normal 3, 5, 4, 5 and all of that, for 2, 5, someone can comfortably give a plate of food to someone who is in need. That was one of the reasons we did that. And then bringing it to the flip side, most people don't have a problem with food. I don't think there's anyone that has a problem with food. It's a belief. Okay, the mindset behind it. And we are coming with a message of hope.
Oh, there was a question Ajolo asked earlier. I don't think you've really answered, you've really done justice to that question. Talking about how difficult it is to feed a family, not to talk of, feeding in the street, how you are sustaining this just cause, and of course, how you intend to continue with it, because it's not just one-off thing, I believe.
All right, this is where partnership comes in.
Okay.
We've made a situation whereby companies can partner with us, organizations can partner with us. It's not just only us getting the funding. Now there's a place where we are internally funded, but then we have NGOs coming in, we have companies who wish to sponsor. Now it's not just a one-time movement. This is the first of its kind, which now...
this is the first?
Yes, this is the
that's
first.
For 1,000 meals of food, not for our outreaches, like this.
But for this particular project, this is the first of its kind. And we are making it in a way that people can partner, organizations who already had mindsets of this is what we want to do. We've had conversations of persons who said, while I was in school, I had dreams of doing this, but there was no platform for them to achieve that. So we are now bringing in the platform where you can be part of it. If you have these dreams which you were not able to achieve, you can come in, partner with us, and get it done. So that's how most of the fund, we are making it open so that partnership can come in, where people tend to donate and also partner with us to get these things done.
And speaking of sustainability, to just chip in, at the moment we've spent going over 500 in this alone. Trying to put structures around it so that the thing about building a platform is it has to be trustworthy for other people to trust it. And to build a platform that's trustworthy, you must make expenses. So that's talking about the fact that we're internally funded. We've had to spend over 500,000, in expenses right now, trying to make sure that this is something that people can come into. And then the partnership we also mentioned, partnerships to organizations, but very importantly, partnership to individuals. I think one of the things we believe is that hope is not far-fetched. We say it over and over and over again. Hope is not distant. Everybody can be a part of this movement. We've put it in such a way that the person who says, oh, I'm a civil servant, the person who says, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, the person who says, I just want to do good, can actually come in to say, how much is the meal? 2,500 naira. You can't get a good food at, I don't want to start mentioning names of brands, for 2,500 naira. And we're able to say, okay, a catering company, subsidize this thing as part of your own contribution. So that's building the platform for someone to say, okay, I want to do 10, I want to do 5, I want to do 100, I want to do 1,000. Because the goal is we want to be able to step into those places and put this in people's hands and let them know, oh, this, one of the things we did is every meal would carry the name of the person who is giving towards it. If it's an organization, it carries the name of the organization. Now, these are part of the strategies we're putting until we can get to a point where we now have running partnerships that, because this is not going to end with this. It's a movement. So until then, anyone can be a part of it.
Yeah, still talking about hope. When you hand over somebody's meal, somebody might not necessarily be, food is good anyway, but then there are certain messages, I believe, that supersedes the handing over of meal. Do you have a partnership with people, maybe psychologists, that can talk to people that are suffering one thing or the other, apart from the fact that you've given meal, but then taking it up, we are talking about hope. Because best way chop in the morning, but need chop in the evening. But the message that you give to somebody while you're handing over that meal, you understand, to that person, could transform that person's mindset towards whatever thing, depression, that person is going through. So do you have something holistic in that nature whereby you could begin to talk to people, give them the real hope, not just Bele hope, infrastructure hope, but the real hope, the mental hope that can make them either recover from what it is they are going through and then see more like a platform, a leap board, so that they can see things better.
All right.
When you have professionals that can talk to.
We have a team which we actually made, which we are training them on how to communicate with these persons. Okay. Now, we are not just going out to speak randomly or someone no. It's coordinated. We are telling them this is the vision, this is what we are hoping to pass through.
Yeah.
This is what, because in our website, when people donate, it comes with a message. You could customize a message which you want to be given to this person you are donating for. Just like he mentioned, like persons can partner 1 plate, 2 plates. You can decide to sponsor for 10 persons. Now you attach a message in our website where you now tell this person, this is what you can, your dreams are valid. You just a little story,
a little message that
message.
Goes, maybe it might even be a T-shirt that goes along with the message. I mean, the meal that you're giving, so that when the person don't chop food, belly food, at that point, when he puts on the T-shirt, he will remember that
exactly.
there is something.
Now there's a mental message coming in.
You understand?
Also.
So that's just what I'm trying to say here.
Every meal after the name of the person comes with a message to tell that this person giving this message, this is the message. Our team is now able to communicate it in the right order. So this person get the message, not only the food, after the person is being fed, his mental state is also being fed.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, you said something about having done this before, that 1,000 meals of hope is just the first project you do on 1,000 meals. So let us know, so far, what you have done and how successful it has been.
All right. The first of its kind, which was not actually a partnership with the catering, because this one we are now partnering with a catering company. The first of it was done last year, 2024.
Okay, that was the first time you started this.
January 25th. That was the first day we went out to the street. But then we just shared plates of meal to persons in Okaye. So then the second of it was when we went to Enugu, we visited the motherless babies home. We were able to cater for some of their needs. We brought in some things and, all the donations were made. Then October, we visited a hospital at Asaba. Now, we were able to see so many persons in different wards. We saw those who were in need of blood. We were able to pay for some people's medical expenses. We were able to donate blood. We were able to pay for blood donations for some set of persons. We had persons, just like there was a guy who, he has been discharged, but because there was no way of eating, he tends to, after taking his drug, he will faint. He will be rushed back to the hospital again. Now, this was not because he has not been discharged, but because there was no food to eat. So those kind of persons, we had to give them, provide a system where they are able to feed themselves, cater for themselves. We met a lady who her skin was literally peeling because there was no blood. We were able to pay for all the blood donations. She was with her children in the hospital. We were also able to provide some financial help to let her leave the hospital after her treatment is done. For some set of children who has been in the hospital over the times and are not able to pay their hospital expenses, we're able to tell them, see what we are able to, some persons, we are able to cover the whole expenses. And that was the 3 projects we did last year. So this year we've also visited the motherless babies home, and this is the second of its kind we are running now.
So there's every plan, since you've said Enugu, Awka, and Asaba. So there's plan to take it further.
Yes.
You understand?
1,000 Years of Hope is a movement.
Yeah.
Even apart from this one we're happening in Awka, the next time we might consider going to Lagos.
No. Why I said taking out, as in we have IDP camps, you understand, in the north, Benue, Plateau, and the rest of it all. And these people are in their need of some form of assistance. And now, is there any part, you talked about helping people, so that means you could even incorporate other things into just 1,000 meals and the rest of it all.
Yes.
Like maybe clothes and the rest of it, or shoes and,
Like there is a project we are already going on for tomorrow. This is visitation to the blind in also Oji River. It's a different project entirely. We are not just looking at a particular set of persons. We are extending helps to those we can. That's why we are working with some organizations. We are looking at getting some partnership with already existing found NGOs that have done more projects, that have gone more vast than us, to get us see light on some certain things, and then extend our partnership with them. If for these persons, like the NDP camps you're talking of, we could extend a helping hand to them in our own little way, and that's how it all starts. That's why we say it's not just a one-time thing, it's a movement.
Now, talking of movement and hearing you talk about different states of the nation, you know, do you have a particular place where you stay and move to all this? Where do you stay? And how do you cover? Okay, you stay in Awka, okay, but you intend to cover most of the states or all the states in Nigeria. How do you intend, do you see that achievable, and how do you intend to achieve that?
It's achievable.
Very achievable.
We have like persons in different states of this country. I have our teams are scattered abroad, not just only in Awka. It started as a movement for we that schooled here in Awka, but then extending to, we have persons who after school, they are currently left to other states. But we all are still in communications. If there is need for a project to be done in a different state, we'll look for our team members there, we'll look for persons who are in our team they coordinate it. So that's why we said from here is just the starting point, but that doesn't mean this is where it's limited to. We have teams all over the place, Abuja, Lagos, Nasarawa, mention it. So those people will be the one to coordinate the project when it comes to that particular state.
I want to chip in something though, if you don't mind, about the IDP camps, because it's something that's very crucial. You know, given the state of insecurity, challenges and everything, it's so painful when someone has to leave their home of birth. For whatever reason, be it floods, be it, insecurity, for whatever reason at all. That displacement of where someone primarily calls home is a big deal. I think, and that's why we really need people to understand that food, meals of hope, is a vehicle. The mindset, the hope movement is what's being carried with this vehicle. And that's why partnerships are so important. One of the people we are actually looking to really partner with, organizations that say, oh, this is what my CSR is towards. Okay, this is our responsibility, corporate social responsibility as an entity. We want to be able to inspire. People don't understand the force of hope. People, a lot of times, people have not really come to that point where they know that in spite of whatever anybody is going through, if a person can comfortably say, I have belief maybe in myself or in the fact that there is a hope for tomorrow, there's no limit to what the person can achieve. Just give the person time. If a person has not concluded that it's over for me, there is no height the person cannot get to. And I think that's a message we want to get to the IDP camps, the message we want to get to, as we've talked about 1,000 Meals of Hope, doing it in various states of the country. We've talked about, or we're considering, I won't want to talk about that one, okay, 1 million Meals of Hope to 36 states of the Federation, we've talked about having these movements move outside as well. But it can't happen without partnership. It's not something that our individual internal funding can carry. It's not something that, and you know, someone may be looking at us right now and is saying, okay, it's for those big organizations. But the truth is, Amaka's contribution can go a long way. Ikenas can go a long way. Okonkwo's can go a long way. You know, Adezis can go a long way. You know, there's this adage we have in Igbo.
Little drops of
Yeah, starting with the one we are doing currently, 1,000 Meals of Hope, because I mean, we've had a very massive budget and we're pushing towards. But there's this adage in Igbo that says that the goat, you know, the community goat that they say everybody is feeding would eventually die of hunger. You know, so it's not a time to say, oh, A must have given, B must. It's a time to say, oh, what can I do towards this? Okay.
Now, talking about partnerships, you've talked about, which is good, but now, is there a recruitment process for people to come partake in what it is that you're doing so that collectively there will be a force you can go out reaching out to get these other NGOs to partner with you? And now what's the modus operandi, or people can come in and join you?
All right.
Is there any platform where people can be, you understand, partners with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Let's have it and let's know what the procedures are.
Okay, so we've established a website. That's www.hope.macrelish.com. Where the whole details of 1,000 Meals of Hope movement, it's well contained there. What we want to achieve, the people we're reaching out to is contained, and then our contact information, because we understand that in pursuing things like this, you need two sets of people. You need the right people who understand your vision in terms of funding, and then you need the right people who understand the vision in terms of communicating it. That's volunteers. So for these two sets of people, we are looking out for people who align, their vision aligns with ours.
All right. From what you have said so far, I see this as a very huge project at hand, and I know that there could be some challenges here and there. If you don't mind, you talked about funding here a lot. You know, you can get to understand what these challenges are and how to maneuver them to achieve your aim. You know, tell us the challenges and what to do to overcome them and get to where you are heading to.
All right. So I believe, just like I said, this is the first of its kind. And here in our country, people value transparency and trust. So that's the first thing we are trying to build. Because if someone wants to partner with you or wants to give out their hard-earned money, there needs to be a way this person can be assured that there is trust. So that's why we are trying to first of all build trust, so that people can understand that this thing is not just a set of persons trying to connive or do something. We are making it as transparent as possible, so that people can see this is exactly what we are doing. Because now one of the things why some persons are just looking at us, some people are on the sideline looking, let me just see what will happen. Let's just see how far they will go. Let's see before they will now actually partner. I've been in those where someone said, okay, let's just see, we will do, but then let's see. What they are trying to establish is to, first of all, check us out and understand, okay, are these people really working on what they are saying? Or are they just a cover-up for the first one? So these are some of the challenges we have. So that's why we are trying to be as transparent as possible, so everybody is able to understand that this is what we hope to achieve. This is what we are doing. And not just some random persons out there just trying to maybe connive persons' money and you get. So that's the major
challenge. Minor challenges could be volunteer management, you know, having people coming who are not just coming in because you have a beautiful vision, but who understand the vision and are able to communicate it as well. You know, it's hope, and hope has a way you communicate hope. You don't communicate hope by tearing someone down. I mean, once you've turned someone down, any other thing you are saying is basically just on the surface. You know, so there's a place of people who imbibe the vision and are able to communicate the vision the same way we have it burning in our heart, so able to communicate that across. And then building systems and structures to see for sustainability. Like you also mentioned, transparency, which is very key to what we're doing. In fact, we've put a system in place where at most 5 days after this project, because we're executing on the 20th of November, is World Hunger Day. Okay. Not World Hunger, sorry, World Children's Day.
Okay.
And someone asked the question why we chose that day. And we're trying to communicate that, see, anybody right now who will tell you, life is calm, we just come here, we'll burn our time and we'll go, was once a child with dreams. Personally, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. Okay, and I ended up doing computer science, which I'm so grateful for. Okay, but anybody right now who has given up entirely wants us to have a dream. And so World Children's Day is a perfect opportunity to remind everybody that the same way as a child you could dream, as an adult, don't stop dreaming.
So while we're wrapping up, let me just take this last shot from you. And then where do you see 1,000 meals in the next decade as we wrap up?
All right. Where I see 1,000 meals of work, we are looking at extending not just to now Africa. We are not even talking of
Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay.
We are not just looking at Africa. We are looking at extending to different continents to Africa, because a lot is being put in place. Just he mentioned earlier that we might even do a million. We could enter a community and decide, okay, the whole community
is on us.
Yes.
Is on us.
Yes.
Exactly. We've gotten that was last year. We got a message from someone in Ghana saying they reached out to us, that they saw our information, and this is what they want. They are talking about their communities having no water, they needed borehole and all those things. So to tell you that we are already making plans of not only Nigeria,
but extending your hope out.
This whole out.
All right, it would have been more beautiful had it been there are plates of rice, some garnishes of chicken or beef from top. But not to worry, we believe that someday it will happen. At this point, we are going to wrap up the show to make room for more things we have to do this morning. We'd like to thank you so much, Prince Excellence Chimzurum Levi, the project lead, 1,000 Meals of Hope. Thanks for the great work you're doing. We also appreciate OK Gideon, founder Smiles on Their Faces Foundation. Thank you so much for all you're doing to put smiles on the faces of people around the world. All right, and that's how we're wrapping up our discussion for now. We'd like to thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you have watched, you can partner with these young men. I'm so impressed when I saw them yesterday doing great work. All right.
And that's how we'll be wrapping it up this morning, so that we can avail them the opportunity to go and continue giving hope and putting smiles on the faces of people out there, people truly in need, including this one wearing red here. And that's how we'll wrap it up. Good morning. And then up next, we'll be Catch the Bus. Don't go anywhere. The show continues after this.